At the very end of practice today for the Baltimore Ravens, tight end Isaiah Likely, he ended up getting hurt and had to get carted off. Let's read the report from Jeff Rebick. It says, rough ending to practice for Ravens as tight end Isaiah Likely was carted back to the locker room. He got hurt during a one-on-one rep with Sanusi Kane. John Harbaugh said Isaiah Likely rolled his ankle and is expected to be out a few weeks. And Harbaugh said that Likely will have an MRI tomorrow, and then we'll find out more. But that sucks. That sucks. Hopefully, best case scenario in this situation is that it is just a few weeks. Hopefully, that's all it is. The timing of this makes this even worse because it came out today that the Baltimore Ravens and Isaiah Likely are like on the brink. They may have already got it done, who knows? But they're like right there when it comes to giving him a contract extension where it's supposed to be a little more than Jake Ferguson's money. But now, like, I'm not sure what's the status of that is going to be with this injury because this is big, man. This is big. Like, Isaiah Likely is your possibly current but definitely future tight end one. And I would envision, especially with everything that John Harbaugh said about Isaiah Likely this offseason, with him getting ready to get a contract any single day now, that him being tight end one is not just something for the future, but something for the right here, right now. And everything that he can do. Mark Andrews is still a baller. Let's not forget and let's not act like he's not, because Mark Andrews is like that. But Isaiah Likely is also somebody who's like that too. And like we always said, the only thing holding Isaiah Likely back from being a top 5 tight end in the league was opportunity. That's it. That's the only thing in the world holding him back from being one of the best tight ends in the NFL. But this injury is tough, man. It's tough because it's a big blow to the Baltimore Ravens. And again, we hope that it doesn't end up being anything long-term. Now, if you can possibly put a spin on it, the fact that whatever it is, again, hopefully it's just a rolled ankle. Hopefully it just got a little swollen ankle, some sprained ankle, something like that, somewhere it's not serious. But the only positive thing about this injury, it's no positive thing about the injury, but the timing of it. The fact that it's happening now, right before preseason is starting, instead of happening right before the regular season or during the regular season or during the postseason, it's happening now during training camp. And another thing, Isaiah Likely also is very familiar with the offense. It's not like he's a rookie just coming in, having to learn the system and whatnot, having to learn the scheme. He knows everything. Not to say that just because you know everything, you don't need practice, because you do. We're certainly not saying that. But for Isaiah Likely, the fact that he's going to be missing some time, it will hurt. But he's somebody that when he gets back, he'll be able to get back and pick things up just like that. But it's a big blow. Now, it does, in hindsight, it does make you appreciate even more the fact that the Baltimore Ravens did not trade Mark Andrews, because obviously there was a lot of speculation that Mark Andrews, he could be gone. And then apparently the Baltimore Ravens, they were listening to offers. Obviously, every offer that they listened to wasn't good enough because they didn't move Mark Andrews. But now with the fact that you kept Mark Andrews and he's still here, now it looks like, oh man, thank goodness, because Isaiah Likely is out for who knows how long again. Hopefully it don't end up being nothing crazy. Hopefully it don't end up being nothing. And hopefully them bringing the card out, hopefully that was just them being extra precautious. But Isaiah Likely getting hurt, that is a big deal, especially when he is apparently getting ready to get a big deal. So we just got to wait till tomorrow for any more updates on him. Now, in some positive news from the Baltimore Ravens training camp practice today, Jaire Alexander, he returned. Remember, yesterday he was out. They said that he was getting his knee drained because he had some swelling in it. But John Harbaugh did say, hey, on Tuesday, Jaire Alexander will be back. So he's back. Again, we've been saying John Harbaugh, when it comes to injuries, he is a man of his word. You got to trust what he's been saying, especially over these past couple of years, because he's been spot on with all of it. And with Rashod Bateman, he also returned to practice too. So the Baltimore Ravens got their one of their 1A, 1B receivers back in Bate. So that sickness is all cleared up, and both of those two are good to go. Speaking of receivers, Tez Walker. We keep hearing about Tez Walker. We done heard about him all offseason. We done heard about him all through OTAs, mini camp, training camp. We continue to hear Tez Walker making play after play after play after play. Jess Rebick said today, Tez Walker had yet another great practice. And this is so nice, man. As Ravens fans, this is so great. We already got Bate. We already got Zay. We added DeAndre Hopkins. We still got Tylan Wallace. But with Tez Walker, the way that he's having this rapid development and this rapid growth, this is so beautiful. And I trust it too. I trust it because a lot of times, and we've seen it before as Ravens fans, you hear, oh, man, this guy's killing it in camp. This guy's killing it in the offseason. Oh, my goodness, he lost all this weight. He added all this muscle. He got all this speed. He been doing these drills. But it's been continuous. It's been so consistent this whole offseason. This makes me more excited to watch the preseason for the Baltimore Ravens next week, to watch Tez Walker and see how everything that he's been doing this offseason translates to the field. A couple of weeks ago, I was confused because my guy Omar, who is a Team Keep It Clean patron, which I appreciate, he brought out a really, really good point. He said that he was actually excited to see the Baltimore Ravens offensive line this year. And initially when he said that, I was like, whoa, you must be like the only person excited to see that. But then he broke it down. He talked about the consistency and the continuity of the Ravens offensive line because they have, 4 returning starters, Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum, Roger Rosengarten, and Daniel Faalele. And obviously in that left guard spot, it's most likely going to be Andrew Voorhees, but we won't know until we know, but it's probably going to be Voorhees. So with them returning for another year, because we've had a lot of up and downs with the Ravens offensive line. When he said that, I was like, you know what? That does make sense. But somebody that I have been very adamant on making a big improvement this year, this offseason, is Daniel Faalele. I felt like Daniel Faalele, we dogged him a lot last year at different moments, but it was not all bad for Daniel Faalele. And something that we got to remember is that was his first year starting at right guard. And hey, he was a Pro Bowler too. So shout out to Daniel Faalele. But with him going into his second year, and think about this too. Last offseason, he didn't know he was going to be the guard. They had him at tackle. They had him at guard. They tried him out at all these different spots on the offensive line because they were just testing it. But then they were like, you know what? Wait a minute. This could actually work. And overall, he did his thing, especially for the position that he was put in. But then this offseason, we've seen him working with Ronnie Stanley. We heard them speak about Daniel Faalele, how he just looks a lot better. And obviously seeing is going to be believing. But something that we can clearly see before he even steps field is how he's looking. And Ryan Mink, in an article on BaltimoreRavens.com, he talked about how Daniel Faalele, he said that he lost 20 pounds this offseason. And he said the reason that he did it is just to take on the challenge. And he said he wanted to feel better and wanted to play better. He said, I feel good. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. He also talked about how he feels 100 times better than he did last year at this time. And I can get that because when you shed 5 pounds, that can be significant. When you shed 10 pounds, it's like, whoa, I'm a whole new person. But shedding 20 pounds, that is a lot. And even for somebody as tall, giant as he is, he way up there. That's really significant. That'll allow him to get to that second level that much more. That'll allow him to move around in space that much more. That'll allow him to just be such more an efficient part of the Baltimore Ravens offensive line for Lamar Jackson, for Derrick Henry, for the receivers, get him extra time to block, just to do more and do it on a higher level. Daniel Faalele, he's going to be nice this year, y'all. A lot has been made of our secondary, as it should, because, we looking like we like that with all the names that we got, the players that we got, the ballers that we got in the secondary. But Zay Flowers, in yesterday's presser, he said something that was significant. He talked about how the Ravens secondary has been a lot more physical this year. And that physicality. Marlon Humphrey, when he's talked about how he just feels like the Bengals, and still they don't fear the Ravens defense like they used to. You look at them Bengals games especially. They definitely don't fear them. And the Ravens didn't give them any reason to fear them because they will let Joe Burrow throw for like 500-600 yards per game. Jamar Chase will go for like 250-300 yards every time he played the Baltimore Ravens. He looked forward to playing the Ravens. They be losing now. They still be losing, and that's the most important thing. But Jamar Chase be going crazy. Him and Joe Burrow be just lighting us up. But with Zay Flowers saying that the Ravens defense, they trying to be more physical this year. That secondary trying to be a lot more physical this year. That can make such a big difference, man. It really can. Just getting hands on these receivers, on these tight ends, tackling these running backs, hitting everybody in sight. We need it, and we need it bad. But Zay Flowers also said the communication has been better, but specifically with Jaire Alexander. I feel like we can say something about Jaire Alexander every single day. He said that Jaire Alexander is the most confident DB that he's ever seen. That says a lot. That says a whole lot. Zay Flowers been in the league a couple of years. He done win against a lot of DBs. He done practice against a lot of DBs. So for him to say Jaire Alexander is the most confident defensive back that he's ever seen, we love it. Now, in some other injury news for the Baltimore Ravens, Jalyn Armour-Davis, he is still out. I know Harbaugh did say that he is expected to get an MRI today, so we'll wait on the information for that when that comes out. Also, Keith Kirkwood, wide receiver, he was out, and rookie corner Bilal Kone, he was still out as well. Now, y'all know we love the Ravens over here, and we know y'all love the Ravens just as much. And what better way to rep the Baltimore Ravens than with this? We decided, you know what? Team Keep It Clean. Y'all deserve this bag. And it's going to be a little mystery Ravens goodie bag. I'm going to throw some different stuff in there. We're going to do a giveaway for that. And if you would like to enter into that giveaway where we would choose one random winner, then all you got to do, super simple, follow us on TikTok and leave a like on our Mike Green video where he pushing that tight end back and knocking him on the ground. Follow us on TikTok, leave a like and a comment on that video, and just type in swag bag, and then you'll be entered. I'm looking at the stuff that I'm getting ready to put in that swag bag, and I'm actually thinking about keeping it myself. But it's okay. I'm going to give it a team, keep it clean. Now, we done made it to my favorite part of the videos where we get to feature questions from you. Send an email to teamkeepitclean@gmail.com if you want to take part in it, or you can go to patreon.com/Ingravenvids, and if you would like to become a Team Keep It Clean patron and show the channel a little extra support, you can do that as well. Let's get into this first question that came from my guy, Jarvo. He said, hearing suspect things about Christian Wilkins from Nightcap and Hendo on why the Raiders cut him and the things he did in the locker room, and I'm perfectly fine with us not getting him. Yeah, we did hear about some of it, because I know that's not all. I know that's not all. I mean, what we heard is already enough, but I know it's got to be more to it than that. It definitely is, because to be cut, it's definitely more to the story than that. He's also said, if he can come to us without the funny acts, bring him in. But if not, kick rocks, because we're trying to have a parade this year. Yeah, it's wild. And again, I know there's got to be more to the story than that. I mean, again, that was enough as is, but it's got to be more to the story than that. Especially, I mean, I didn't realize that, because I had seen that video before where, what team was he on? Not Clemson. I forgot what team he was on in college, where he was doing the splits and all that. And then the video where, with him and Josh Allen, and then the video with him and another quarterback too in college. I'm like, whoa, slow down, buddy. Christian Wilkins, what did you do? Anyway, Jarvo's next question, he said, look, we now got the NY Ravens, and now we can add the Pittsburgh Ravens to the list. My question for you is, do you think the Ravens players go to the Steelers, referring to Chuck Clark signing with them, as a get back for us either releasing them or not re-signing them? No. Well, yes and no. I think the opportunity just presents itself. And if nobody else presented them with an opportunity, then, and the Steelers do, okay. I ain't got no problem with them going over there. It's business. These guys are in this business to make money. They also want to make a legacy for themselves and all that, but they want to make money. And if the Steelers offering them money, they offer them opportunity, they're going to take it. So, I mean, you look at Mike Wallace. You think Mike Wallace signed with the Ravens to get back at the Steelers? No, he had been some other places already by that time. And there have been other players, of course, as well. But, I mean, it's just part of the game, part of the business. He also said, if the Cowboys don't re-sign Micah, what would it take for us to get him? What deal would you make? And with so many players that will get max contracts on the Ravens, like Tyler Linderbaum and Kyle Hamilton, and upcoming contracts like Adolphe Wade, Travis, Jaire, Mark, Isaiah Bates, Zay Faalele, how would you find a way to get Micah and sign key players? Well, if you were to get Micah, you would realize quickly, and I mean, you already know this, you can't keep everybody. You cannot keep everybody. It's impossible to do. You got to make decisions. So once those decisions are made, like, okay, who we definitely got to keep, who's some cornerstone players for this team? Because obviously if you add in Micah, then he will be a cornerstone player for this team. And, you're going to have to give up multiple first-round picks for Micah Parsons, because he ain't coming cheap at all. You probably got to give up definitely at least two, maybe third, but definitely two, along with some second-round picks. If you want to do a player two, then I don't even know, man. It will take a lot to get Micah Parsons, because he is like that, man. He really is one of them guys. So I can't even think off the top of my head what it would take, but it would take a little bit of everything. He also said, side note, not related to the question I asked, but I hope that we keep Travis Jones and Adolphe away. Time will tell, my friend. We're going to see. He also said, I saw on Bleacher Report reported that the NFL will be releasing NFL rival uniforms this season. This year, we will see the AFC East and NFC West debuting their new rival uniforms. Then two divisions will get some until the 2028 season. If you were to design a Ravens rival jersey, what would it look like? Man, you know what I would do? I would take that little white jersey that's been floating around, that little snow jersey, the white jersey with the purple. I would just copy and paste that, because that thing is so beautiful, man. I wish they would make that real. Oh, I wish they would make that real. That would be so nice, man. He also said, I don't know too much. Oh, this was before. He said, I don't know too much about Christian Wilkins, and I know we need some O-line help, but hey, why not give Wilkins a talk? Well, I think things change on that now, but he also said, as well as Justin Simmons. He also talked about Jadeveon Clowney, Brandon Sheriff, and Keenan Allen. Oh, that boy even went receiver too. Woo! Woo! Hey, I wouldn't be mad. Keenan Allen, I mean, he can still play, but Keenan Allen, we got a lot. Like, I feel like we like good there. I feel like we are, man. We feel like, unless, depending on what Isaiah Likely, unless you want to make Keenan Allen say, hey, you want to play some tight end? Just a little bit. You ain't got to do nothing crazy, but just a little bit, just while he's out or whatnot, see how you do. But, yeah, man, as far as Justin Simmons, Jadeveon Clowney, I think those are still real possibilities, especially Justin Simmons, depending on how things shake out at safety. So we'll see what happens with that. Jarvo also said, Lamar said that we haven't seen the best version of him yet. In your opinion, what do you think that looks like? Him being a Super Bowl champion. I said him being a Super Bowl champion. Him just continuing to do what he's been doing, but him being a Super Bowl champion. Lamar Jackson, when he got out of Greg Roman's system, when he was in Greg Roman's system, a lot of people was like, oh, yeah, it's Greg Roman. That's the system. That's what makes Lamar who he is. That's what makes him special. But he showed that that's not it. He showed that that's not even the best version of himself. He went 36-6, ran for over, 1,200 yards. He went crazy at that MVP year. But then last year, in my opinion, was even better and crazier than the MVP year. Threw for over 4,000 yards. Threw for 41 touchdowns or 4 interceptions. Ran for over 900 yards. Went crazy. And all the interceptions that he threw, they weren't even on him. He went crazy with it. And that should have been a unanimous MVP season, in my opinion. But, again, they felt bad for Josh Allen. You know the rest of the story. But I think the only thing that will make Lamar Jackson look even better would be him holding up that Super Bowl trophy. He also said, is there an undrafted free agent you see making the roster this year? I will say linebacker Jay Higgins from Iowa due to him being versatile and slightly fast. And it could be him due to us just being pretty thin at inside linebacker. You think about it, Roquan Smith, Jake Hummel, Trenton Simpson, Teddy Buchanan, and who else do we have at inside linebacker besides that? So the numbers are in his favor. He also said, I saw PFF wrote that the Ravens are under the most pressure to win the Super Bowl this year versus all the other teams. Do you agree or disagree? I agree. But I think that they've been under pressure to win the Super Bowl. It's been that. And they keep failing. So hopefully this year they don't fail. The Ravens, they have an elite team. They have an amazing roster right now. But they've had an amazing roster last year. The year before that, they had a really good roster too. So, again, Ravens have had everything that they've needed and more to win the Super Bowl the past couple years, but they haven't done it this year. Again, they still got everything they need and more. It's just a matter of getting it done. I know this video started off on a negative note with the injury news to Isaiah Likely, but let's end it on a positive note and talk about the positive impact that Jaire Alexander has had on this team, both on and off the field. To see that, watch this video right here.